I don't know his reasons why he's at UNO.
54, A&M Corpus Christi. Short to Trigger, finding White open for the jam.
Hawkeyes by 9. Inside the paint, the fadeaway.
If you're in New Orleans now, you don't want to foul. UNO able to come up with the steal. White stripped it away, gets the outlet and dunks it.
Pulled down by the Privateers' Day Hunter. And UNO again doing a great job on the glass early in this one. Off a screen, deep.
Vincent has it now, looking for the lob. White, the dunk.
State unable to play today. James White, leading scorer for the J.R. Jacobs, sophomore from Memphis, was number 1. Now here's White.
Yeah, that's what he does.
White in transition. Bumped and fouled.
Made a great roll and ended up with the dunk on that possession.
Asher Woods nearly got a steal. White for 3.
This is a building moment for Coach Hollowell as finally they get White loose.
Robotham to White. White spinning. Spinning again. Gets double teamed. Leans and scores.
At all in his K-State career, but he ratcheted it back. There was Vincent there to tip it away. And a nice drive. And
has it taken away. White is on the run. He'll take it at Williams. He'll lay it in. And UNO.
Better one-on-one players on this team. Very few people can stay in front of him.
And from the parking lot. Too strong on the 3. Rebound deflected twice. Kemp finds it. Lobs up ahead to White for the dunk.
Tang calls Hawkins a connector, which I think is a great way to describe him. He just makes everybody out.
Free throw line, a catch for Thomas. Not looking to attack, hands to White. White pulls up from 17, hits the jumper. Fleming open off the screen. The pass comes too late, and White steals it. He breaks away and lays it home over the... Having trouble and lobbing to half court where White will catch it. Almost stripped again by Rigsby. He'll go right at him, and that's what you got to do. You got to...
His back up, and now a steal by White. White will have an easy dunk.
Deflected, and a turnover created by Short. Vincent up ahead to White for the dunk. And a dish by Robotham. In the trees, Thomas in trouble, needs to pass it out and finally does. Wide open, it goes down low. The
pressure by Tulane. Ely nearly gets the steal. White gathers, takes it strong, and lays it in. And so it has been a problem for them. Here's a turnover by Glenn. White taking it strong, and the kiss off.
Has it now, gets it to Kemp. Back to White. He's in that left corner in front of the New Orleans bench with Kaluma on him. Drives baseline, no help, and he lays it in.
The game. Drive to the baseline. Nice pass back to.
Reaching in a little. Ron Hunter is not happy.
He's begging for some pressure, and there's none.
And James
Vaccaro's handling the basketball. White on the handoff with a head of steam, able to bank it in.
Lamar led by 12. New Orleans is led by as many as 7. And a nice...
It goes down deep, and it's deflected, and another steal for Deese. If he can save it, he does, but right to White, who gets the layup. We won't see many substitutions from the Privateers, but maybe more here in the first half as White jump stop in the lane, leans in and puts it.
Off the turnover on the run out, the missed layup. And now the Privateers, James White finishes with the right hand.
Him get his.
Yeah, you really haven't seen him establish himself at all throughout this game. We're talking about Cody Penneberg. Oh, good move there by White.
Was able to corral it. He'll wheel in, has it knocked away. And here comes White the other way. A little push off in the dunk.
Thomas has another rebound. 5 now for Thomas as White races up the floor and lays.
31% from 3 coming in, and another turnover forced with the trap and another easy dunk.
Quiet today, but against the trapping pressure got himself a layup. White spins and scores again.
UNO will attack the basket, laid up and good.
Double team and having it blocked in his face is Jones. Privateers a chance to run. White across the lane.
Glenn now 0-5 from three-point range this season. Good take to the basket.
Bounds, a good save by Mackey. Now poked from behind by Short. Picked up by White for the layup. And
the loss to the Cyclones. Here is James White. Extra step off the glass and scores.
Are looking to go to work. Can't get by the 6'6" defender Johnson. White steps through two defenders and scores.
Has a little free run to the lane, but has his pass tipped away, and then White lays it in off the loose ball. Short, Shedrick tips it out, but this time to Jacobs for New Orleans. Gets White screaming. White short, but they're going to say ladder. Now gets it down low, throws it away. Looking for Shedrick, it was stolen. Here comes New Orleans the other way, and White lays it in off the transition.
That was averaging 10 made threes per game. They have made 9. J.R. Jacobs. Underneath James White.
Great. When he dribbles a lot and thinks about it, you know, that's an area he can work on over the last few minutes.
It's good offense. Dylan Coleman with the 2. And now a turnover. And it's White. On the floor for the first time today for Iowa. Where's number 14? Koch back in. Dembele also back on the floor.
It's Carter, and it's a high percentage look.
10 different Hawkeyes have scored today.
Get it to the baseline area. Thomas, shot clock working down. This is where they want it in White's hands. Tough mid-range pull-up, but that's why.
Runs into Thomas, who swats it away. The chance to run for UNO. White ahead of the pack. Score.
Get to White. White with a shot fake, mid-range pull-up, good. Privateers have it in Thomas's hands. They're trying to get the basketball to White. White attacks baseline, shoots it up, and good. Nichols will get it in bounds. They'll lose it, and the Privateers will lay it up and in.
But you're not going to lose productivity. So look defensively by Baylor. Drive in.
Brumbaugh turns it over. UNO on the run. Strong. Hunter fakes the 3. White on Banks. Step back jumper is a beauty.
There's room to drive for you, and for Tulane that has not been the case.
Another sloppy pass from Brumbaugh. On the run, Day Hunter lobs it off the glass. And
percentage from the field.
5 on the shot clock. Oh, a nice move to the. He had a good game against Robert Morris yesterday, Jim. He had 12 points.
Yeah, he was tough.
Pull up, bank shot, and manufactured in the first half.
Yeah, they won this game in the first half, Chris, because it's only 23-20. Stonehill's only outscored him by 3. The job done. He uses his head smart.
Drive in, White hangs and gets that one to bounce in good.
Very athletic team. Both teams very athletic.
There's a nice looking 3. Community College.
The Johnson looked like he was stuck inside that time. Didn't know what to do with it. He threw it up and
healthy in double digits.
Good movement. Really getting through their plays. Nice. That was a great drive that time by James White.
Points, James.
Yeah, the benches have been really good for both teams.
From the baseline, swing. Jeez. Long bomb from the left wing. And unable to deal with it was M.J. Thomas. Kept it alive. And from
a catch at the top of the arc. White will go to work on Dawkins. Try to back him down. He'll lean in and lay it in.
A lot of resilience.
Under 15 to play. New Orleans with a...
Jacobs, one-hand pass to White. Chance for him to attack a retreating defense, and hits from Roy. Able to bring back in Fields. White, though, off the inbound open. will look to probe the baseline left into the corner. White trying for that elusive first UNO three. Doing what they needed to do in the half to chip away. White gets an open three. That's nothing but net. Inside 5, Jacobs the drive. Down deep. Gets the layup to beat the buzzer. Offense. Short shot clock means White needs to just go to work. He lost it. Gets it back. Puts it in. Your guard can do. Certainly saw the floor well there. Now White from deep.
Yes, because both of them are integrating a lot of new players, trying to find their rhythm. White over defenders. Jacobs. Hand off to White, floating in the lane. Jones nearly has it knocked away, and he does. And showtime for James White.
Josh Short comes away with it. Short flips it back, and that's an easy dunk. All the way into the corner. 3 from there is good. UNO. Spin underneath. Tough left-handed shot is no good. Bounced perfectly to White, and he's got the ease of this second half. Working around. James White for 3, and he'll knock pass. The very dangerous Vincent. White gets it back. All the way down the lane. Floats it. Good.
Now UNO will slow up in the half-court set. White after the switch. Now matched up with Bailey. Pulls up on the baseline and hits.
Short as well. Marmoleos, the transfer from Arizona Western edge there against the 6'10 big. Outside. Oh, back the other way, and you've got 3-on-2. And who else but there's the guy you can't.
Turnover as he dives on the floor to save it. Up ahead, UNO 3-on-3. White to the rack, scores off the glass over 2. Spurred by their defense. Here is White to the hole, freed up for the layup. Short with it, kicking to an open White for 3, and passes out against Alizi. Good decision. White, his rest over 2. The hesitation, drive right of the lane, banks it home. We tried to pass it to, and he lost it short, though able to get the loose ball and get another assist. Thomas, the catch, has 2 options on the baseline, goes to Roberry, who passes back out to the wing for James White. On easy buckets down low, and the Islanders are 4 of 5 as a team. Now James White goes to work. 6'3" senior. Guy who can be instant offense off the bench out there now. White going to work again, pulls up and hits the third. And across the timeline to Short, to the trailing White, who launches a 3 and hits. And comes up with it. Up the sideline to Hunter. Into the corner, White launches a 3 and hits. James Knight from 3, and the Islanders are 6 of 11 from deep. The Privateers have seen teams at their best from 3 often this year. White, a lob up ahead, finds Grant. Into Deese, doesn't get the whistle that time. On the miss, the offensive rebound is a layup. Hunter with it. Finding White, head of steam to the hole, lays it in. J.R. Jacobs, a New Orleans point guard, finding White. And the jump stop leads, can't get that shot off. He's given up a foot there. White will go to work on Thorne if he can. Help coming, though. He'll get a fadeaway opportunity. Privateers trying to size up this extended zone defense. Getting into the middle of it, White, and forget about it, he's going to score. Opportunity to feed Thomas. Now White, top of the key. Past Abdul Hakim to the rim in the lane. Vaqueros, his first person. White open on the inbound. The baseline J is double figures. White, haven't heard from him in a while, going one-on-one like off back rim. Abdul Hakim keeps it alive for the moment, but White a chance to run. UNO with numbers, fake of the pass, the runner good. Right, going baseline on the bounce into the opposite corner to White, who pulls up at the left elbow off the bounce and hit. Rebound for Thomas. Now White across the timeline with 7 minutes to go. Goes at Glover to the hole. Hangs and banks. Up ahead, Robotham. The fake and then the drive. A lot of contact, no whistle, but good for UNO. Lead.
Josh Short's already got the 3. This time he kicks into the corner. White tries it, knocks it down.
Highest, teams in the country coming in. Top 5, top 10. Those games
where 5 players scored in double digits, and in their last game 10 different players put points on the board as well. that kind of
ball away. You can't make unforced errors. Going to be crucial that Vanderbilt continues.
Being able to catch the errant pass and still get it in the basket.
Will slow things down. Grant gave it into the corner to White. He'll stop and fire from 15, and he'll get his. Is no good, but rebound by the Privateers. White for 3 in that one.
Rebound. He'll outlet to Short. Short to the corner. The jumper. White. Nothing but net.
20 on the shot clock for the Privateers. And they will use about 1 second of it.
20 points. That was at 2:55 in the ball game in the first half.
White with a turnaround shot at the mid of the paint. His pass is tipped, knocked loose, recovered by White. Open 15-footer. Now the Pokes with some trapping full court pressure, but White breaks it and comes down the lane. He hits the basket. Josh Short to White. White dribbling with the left hand, got in the paint, reverse layup. Drops through.
Been kind to LSU early on. Their third miss from that spot on the floor. Another quick transition 3 after the.
A nice assist by Cam Dassim across the baseline.
Defended 3, catch and shoot, going to be missed by Hunter. Rebound underneath the at the Maravich.
Hey, if I'm scouting LSU and LSU shoots the ball, I'm going to find Corey Chess and keep him off the board. A lot of activity, not a lot being accomplished at the rim.
Hunter to White, top of the key, fakes left. Puts against Florida Gulf Coast. Again, coming off a 2-block performance against Stetson. This center of the floor. Flips it over to Short. Short picked up by Bailey. Now to White. Contested through for the freshman, and it's 63-41.
Ball screen, no help. Defending.
Minutes on the floor today. Raul Batham get a touch right side. Handed off to White. White was the leading scorer for UNO in the first half. He's been held in check for the most part here in the second. Under 2 to play. Hunter to White in the left corner. Picked up defensively by Carter. White has to give it back up. Hunter.
He got too far underneath. Here comes White on the run. Alley-oop and a dunk.
There you go.
Going to affect the 6'8 shooter there. White down low to Thomas. Good hands in traffic, who scoops it up.
The 6th most accurate three-point shooter in the country. Gets off to a good start here.
A great example Price has been in this game. You don't play the minutes you want to play, but you just come back out battle.
Still line, then play high-low.
White fakes the 3, got by Cody, and then dumps it down in the slam.
White underneath.
There's a lot of basketball yet to be played. A lot of development yet to be made before conference starts. And Wright's a guy that's going to fit in, I think, to that mold. He stirs it up. He's going to lead the team in assists, but he also knows how.
Last year in Texas on the high school level. And he can score it in holdovers from the previous staff. Makes an impact right away. UNO able to attack the assist from.
Minutes left to play.
Got to rotate over.
In Louisiana, whether you're in Massachusetts or anywhere else in the world. Here's a
from 3-point range now this season. White looks to answer, and he does.
Yeah, I think Wright was so wide open, he guided it a little bit. He didn't just shoot it, tried to guide it up there. I mean, he had
84-47, Baylor on top. Day Hunter knocks down
in the game for whatever reason. There's just a block. The Colonels are not a very good free throw shooting team. Nearly cost them on Thursday against Southeastern. White reversing it for a 3 short. Got it.
Exception for Dylan Heyman. Finding Anderson trailing, whose floater bounces on the back of the rim twice and won't drop. And White, who's also a top 2 rebounder in the conference, comes up with the board. The senior does a little bit of everything for New Orleans in his first year with the program. Now Vincent, the 4th year.
Great so far as Cam Williams, 10 points, 5 rebounds. Jumper is
able to use the window, has 5 points. Now spinning in the lane, White on the pivot into the corner. A Hunter 3, bang!
Go here in the first half of play. 14-10, New Orleans on top of Lindenwood here in the first game of the Urban Bennett Invitation. Inside out.
Bang.
White sends it up.
18 and counting the lead. as the Privateers will have Roebuck.
3 years with Jerome Tang and his staff. A lot of continuity on the staff for K-State basketball.
Good look. And defense.
Throws it right into the hands of Josh Short. 3-on-2. Back the other way. UNO looking to take advantage of the 5-on-4. Skip it back to the wing. Josh Short for 3. That one, and a turnover on the outlet pass. White skips it back to Vincent. Not the guy for the Demons want to see shooting a 3.
MJ Thomas back on the court. White into the corner. Hunter, a 3. 15 points, 16 rebounds for Clark on Saturday. Double-figure scoring in 21 straight games dating back to last year. Day Hunter loses it on the dribble. Baseline save to Hunter. Out to White, the pump fake. Stop at the elbow. Hunter, a long time to line up the 3 in this first half. 45-38 Islanders. 1 point below their biggest advantage of the half. Grant gets the pass for the 3.
I'm telling you, if I'm Chris, we're talking about that during the next dead ball. Don't tell the defense what I'm about to do.
Now White. Go into the post. Davis layup.